You're listening to Get to Know World of Warships, a podcast created by Bogsy and Synpax.
Okay, it is Sunday. It is Easter Sunday, I think. So I hope all of you have had your chocolate bunnies and your chocolate bunnies and your colored eggs, or is it your colored bunnies and your chocolate eggs? I don't remember which one it is. It's been a while since anybody tried to hide any eggs from me. So anyway, hi Borla.
How you doing, Bugsy?
I'm great, man. I'm getting ready for a trip to Georgia for a wedding, and I've never been to Georgia. Should I be afraid?
Only if you hear banjos.
I thought that was Alabama or Missouri or Mississippi or something like that.
Just trust me.
Just trust you anyway?
Banjos, just go inside and lock the door.
Lock the door, put your ears, and start humming. Put your fingers in your ears and start humming. Everything will be fine. Yikes. Okay, yeah, this is the first real trip we've taken since the pandemic, and we're sort of excited about it. I don't know what a post-pandemic wedding is going to look like. I assume it's going to result in two people getting married the same way that all weddings do, but...
If it doesn't, I bet it will be a way cooler story.
Yeah, if you hear about stupid Californian ruins Georgian wedding in the newspaper or on the news later, just drop an F in the chat for me, please. Drop an F11 out of respect in the chat. Well, as much fun as it would be to make more jokes about me being an actor and you having a dog child, we have a very special guest. And would you like to introduce her, please?
Yeah, so we have a very successful streamer, somebody that most people who are in the World of Warships community and who watch Twitch are probably familiar with. We have Ashley, AKA Ashley. So thank you for being here with us today, Ashley.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Well, let me go ahead and just get the basic stuff out of the way. Like Borla said, anyone who's familiar with World of Warships streamers has no doubt come across you or seen you or at least heard of you. You're very prolific. You're a fun streamer. So how did you get started? Ashley, aka Ashley, also known as Ashley, also known as Ashley. How did you get started exactly into World of Warships and into streaming?
So I started streaming because my husband was stationed in Germany and I wasn't able to work. And I was bored. And, I play games a lot. And one of my friends, who is a partnered music streamer, was like, well, just stream, Ashley. And I was like, well, I've thought about it. And he was like, okay, well, today you're going to create your panels on Twitch. And that's all I needed was like a little hand holding, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, okay, well, now I'm streaming. That's cool. And it wasn't really far into... when I started streaming that I kind of just got tired of the games I was playing, and like all of my friends stopped playing games for like real life reasons, like having babies and stuff. Like it just like was a sudden just huge stopper on my social life per se in the gaming world.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, yeah, I'm still playing that World of Warships game. And I was like, I don't know. Because I think I'd watched him play maybe a battleship game. And I was like, that looks really slow paced and boring. I don't know about that. But I was like, well, got nothing else to play. I guess I'll give it a try. And I found out it wasn't slow paced as long as I didn't, play a low tier battleship.
Yeah.
And yeah. And it was actually really exciting, and I fell in love with it really quickly. I always tell people that the thing that really hooked me, and this doesn't exist anymore, but the thing that really hooked me was the first time I killed someone with the first salvo in the game.
You mean like the first blood, or you mean like literally you dev struck someone with your first salvo?
Yeah, first salvo dev strike. Back before
okay.
they nerfed it to where they had to have some damage, previous damage. It was beautiful to give, but it did suck to receive, so I get it.
Oh, sure, yeah. We've all been on the receiving end of a surprise detonation.
I think what I heard in there is that if you would like to play video games more, get puppies instead of kids.
Yes, very much. Very much.
Well, that tracks absolutely with gamer logic right there. So your husband got you started playing World of Warships because he was out. That's incredible. So is he a Navy guy or is he stationed in the Army? Or is that
No,
maybe that's
he's
private?
Air Force. Yeah.
Okay.
Good guesses, but
No, this is why I was asking, was because if he's in the Air Force and he's playing World of Warships, is he in some way betraying his service?
I mean,
Because there is a game called World of Warplanes. Okay,
is there?
I've never played it, but I hear that it exists. So
Yeah, no. He's I mean, you don't like leave work and then want to come home and work, right?
I think
During
Borla
the
does.
pandemic, I don't get to leave work. It's just in my office down the hall from my
Fair.
bedroom. So
Fair enough. Well, and I do go from streaming to just playing games when I get off. So, maybe this wasn't the right audience to make that point to.
It's funny how that works, because when I get done streaming, you stream a lot longer than I do. I've noticed you go 6+ hours sometimes, and bless you for that, because at about 4, like, I can feel the smile starting to drip off my face, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting cranky,
Yeah.
And I kind of go,
feeling.
4 hours, that's perfect. And then I get done, and then what do is I'll close my stream. I'll turn on someone else's, whomever I raid or whatever. I'll sort of leave their stream on and listen for a little while, and then I'll play a different game on my own without anyone knowing. And I almost always sort of feel a little bit bad about that. I don't know why. Do you ever feel bad when you play a game afterwards?
No, because it's so different. Like, having to be quote unquote on is exhausting. On being like, entertain, but the whole aspect of entertaining people is very exhausting.
Bogsy's a trained actor. If the audience doesn't know that.
Didn't know that.
So it's probably even more exhausting.
Oh no, it's like unrolling a pat of butter. It's fine. It's totally easy. Well, so specifically, okay. I was gonna forget this, and now I'm saying it right now before I forget. Please, can you confirm to me that the special commander that was released as a Twitch
Not
Prime,
me. Oh my god, not
named
me.
Ashley, whose colors are purple and yellow?
No, God,
That's
no.
not you, right?
It's not me.
How did that happen? Who the hell is that?
Okay, listen here. World of
Listen
Warships, if
here.
you're listening. Okay, why name it Ashley? That's what I want to know. Okay, like, yeah, you could have picked any other name. No, this has been like the bane of my existence since it came out.
I bet. I thought it was
Everybody
you for the
wants
longest time.
like a captain in the game, right? You got Jingles, got his captain. Everybody else wants a captain in the game. I don't want to fake me. Okay,
Right.
that's not me.
Well, so do we know who that Ashley is?
No, it's just meant to be like a typical like Twitch e-girl, or like a gamer girl, like
okay.
literally,
And they
because
just
it was a Twitch Prime like reward or whatever.
yeah.
And so you see like it has like the cat ear headphones, and like it's wearing purple, and
So that actually leads to something that I wanted to ask you about when Bogsy and I, we'll talk about who we're going to have on, and I take full credit, Bogsy, because I recommended Ashley, I think, to be honest.
Credit is yours.
That was my thought, because content creators are interesting people to talk to, and in the World of Warships realm, the vast majority of the content creators and the streamers who have an audience anywhere near the level of yours are males. It's a male-dominated game. And so I'm interested in your perspective of somebody who, as a female streamer, and how interactions with the audience go, and what your experience and perspective is doing what you do, and being very well known in the community for it.
Well, I will say that World of Warships is a blessing when it comes to being a female streamer. Anytime I leave the category and stream other games, especially FPSs, but even games like Minecraft, it's a huge shift in behavior in terms of new people, not my own community, obviously. And I think it's because the World of Warships community is on average older than the Twitch community. They had confirmed to me at some point that it was around 35 years old was the average age. Some people say it's even older than that, but so it's really not that bad. I do still get the weirdness. And sometimes I think people just don't know how to act. and I try to give people a little bit of space to like calm down and just like act like a normal person, right?
Well, one of the things that I've noticed, I don't, like I mentioned, I've watched your stream a fair amount. I don't watch it every day, but your sense of humor deflects a lot. I think you and Boxy both have that ability to deflect things through kind of a self-deprecating sense of humor. And so
Yeah, for sure.
And
You have to.
Yeah, and I guess I'm glad to hear your experience with the Warships community is better than. It's a shame that there are incidents that aren't like that, but I guess it is, as much as some of us complain about the toxicity we see and different things, to hear that it's better than other places, I guess isn't surprising for the age thing, which I think is true, but I'm glad to hear that part too.
Well,
Yeah. And toxicity is like nothing. I mean, sure, there's toxic people, but the game I played the most before I started playing World of Warships was League of Legends.
oh,
If you want to know about toxicity, go play League of Legends for a day. This community's full of like Santa Claus and puppies compared to League of Legends.
yeah. So I have a little theory on this, and I want to know what you guys think. And I think my theory is that part of the reason, and you've already thrown down both of these observations. So I think I feel confident in saying you probably agree. But because the average age of the age of the average player is older, which I would say 35, and I just turned 36, so I think I just called myself old. But I have a feeling like part of that is because the pace of the game, like you said, is slower. It's not Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty has got to be the fastest paced game really that I've ever played, consistently. It's because you spawn, you're probably dead or killing something within 10 seconds. And, this game, God, it can go 15, 20 minutes for a full match. And even then, you might not even be firing your guns for the first 3 or 4. And it's positioning and it's slower paced, which means I think older people are willing to sort of put in that time and appreciate that rather than just playing, what do they call them? Like Twitch games. I don't mean Twitch, the streaming service. I mean the games where you literally, you're just reacting. You're not thinking, you're just reacting.
Right.
Do you think it might have something to do with that?
I think it's that. I also think it's that the game is obviously appealing to people who have served.
Yes.
Veterans and people who are interested in naval history, which I would not say is typically a younger interest. Though I'm sure, and I have people in my community that are younger and have an interest in naval history. I would just think, on average, those are maybe older, older. Not
People
old.
who maybe have some life experience if they've actually been in the military very long or been in combat or something like that. And then in general, even if they haven't, at a young age, they probably had some respect and discipline implanted in them through their experience in that. And that makes sense.
And I actually it's pretty interesting because of the difference in age groups. I maybe think that I get more odd interactions that are like on the, like, I don't know, different or on the other side. Like I am really independent. I do not like people telling me what to do. Obviously, I'm not gonna let someone on the internet tell me what to do. But because of the age group, I get more people who will say stuff like, "Hey, Ashley, never dye your hair like purple or whatever, because girls that do that aren't attractive." And that's the thing that I more often have to like stop in its tracks, because it's like an offensive thing to say to somebody, and be like, whoa, like not even my husband would say that to me, first of all. And that's just weird. Like, don't, like, I always go on these tangents about like, attraction is like subjective, and you telling me not to do something that you think is unattractive is like weird. It's like saying, hey, I need you to do what I think is attractive, and that is just creepy.
Right.
It's painting you into an idealistic thing instead of the person you are.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of like, boobs, show me your boobs, like I get like this other, like, I would say more tame, and not meant to be offensive. Obviously, they don't think they're being offensive, and most people, I go off on my tangent. I can feel like my mods and like my core community cringing anytime somebody says it because they know that the pedestal's coming out.
Oh, sure, right.
Ah! But a lot of those people like calm down and are able to like just treat me like a person, which is what I always ask like people to do. Just treat me like a person.
Well, that's very interesting that you said specifically that you, and I think Borla mentioned that he observed this as well, that you take the time to, rather than sledgehammering bad behavior immediately, it sounds like you give an opportunity for someone to say to sort of see, hey, that doesn't fly here. Would you like to try again?
Within reason.
Yeah.
Within reason. There are some things that are not automatic ban, but
and it's a tricky thing to discern intent over the internet while you're trying to play a game and you're dealing with the rest of your audience. But if you can sense that the intent is not completely out of bounds, then the way you address it might actually be a learning experience for them.
Yeah. And that type of behavior and like complimenting my looks and stuff like that, which usually I try to ignore. Like when someone's new, I just ignore. Maybe they get the hint. If they don't get the hint, then I'm like, hey, like I'm not interested in that kind of attention. And usually they get the hint. And if they don't, sometimes I actually do ban them, which is crazy to say like, oh, I got to ban people for complimenting me. But
if Late Light tells
he does that, Bogsy does. He's so dashingly handsome.
If I swear to God, if Late Light tells me to take my shirt off on stream one more time, he's getting permanently banned. I wish I was joking.
Do it sometimes, and that's what's encouraging.
You know what the best part is Late Light. Oh no! Wait, Late Light will never know that I said that because he's never listened to the podcast once. Sorry, just so you know, Ashley, I know Borla knows who Late Light is, but Late Light is one of the 3 co-leaders of the clan that we run together, TNG, and he's my buddy.
He grew up 5 minutes away from me.
Yeah, he grew up 5 minutes,
wow.
and he's never listened to the podcast once. 76 episodes in, and he's never listened to it once. God bless you, sir. I only say that here because you will never hear it.
Yes.
Well, so there's something specific that I wanted to talk to you about. We talked about it beforehand, but the audience has never actually heard us discuss what it means to be part of a Twitch team. So for those of you listening, Twitch streamers obviously are able to sort of form, a union is too strong of a word, but like they're able to form sort of little social circles where they can apply themselves together collectively towards creative goals or fundraising goals or charitable goals and whatnot. And Ashley happens to be part of Aim and Achieve. Now, I don't actually know whether or not you started Aim and Achieve or whether you're a part of it.
Well, I started Aim and Achieve with Femininely and Team Grunty, other World of Warships streamers. Yep.
Great. So we had Femininely on months ago. And I actually had to leave about a quarter of the way through, and my former co-host Synpax, he finished out the rest of the interview. But so when you obviously one day you decided, well, I'm going to start a Twitch team. What was sort of the instigation for that? Was there something specific that made you go, okay, now is the right time to do this, or did you just sort of go, hey, here are some other people that I really enjoy, and we'd like to support each other more effectively?
Well, it was something I'd always wanted to do, and Em was asking me some questions about doing it because she was thinking of doing it, and I was like, well, if you're doing it, then I want to be a part of it. That's how that happened. And ta-da!
So, I know that I saw that you guys had done you've done several charity fundraisers. And the last one you did, you guys raised well over what you were aiming for and donated it to, it was mental health. I don't remember the name of it. It was the NAMI. So it was...
NAMI. Mm-hmm.
NAMI, okay. Well, number one, what made you want to choose NAMI? And two, how was the response from your community and from your Twitch team's community when you set about to do a fundraiser?
Well, fundraisers are something that have always been really important to Fem and myself. We actually do, so every year we've done St. Jude in May, because that's like the big time that streamers do St. Jude, that you can raise money all year. And then we would just choose something else that was important to us at the end of the year. That year I asked the team if they would be willing to do NAMI because it's a charity that means a lot to me. It's National Alliance of Mental Illnesses, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a lot in America for mental illness. Most of what they do is around education and legislation. So they do a lot of lobbying to impact laws, to help people gain access to mental health care and make that accessible. And then they do these their local chapters have all these different classes that you can go to that are really neat. So like not just for people who have a mental illness, but some of them are like for people for like friends or family who want to know how best to support somebody with a specific mental illness. It's just really interesting. They're a really great charity, and my community seems to really resonate with mental health care charities. This year, I'm raising money for RAD, which is Rise Above the Disorder. They're also a mental health care charity, but their funds go specifically to paying for mental health care. So if you don't have insurance and you can't pay for it, you can go to them and apply to have it paid for completely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've done a lot of different things. The team has raised over $70,000 for charities since its inception in 2019, which has been really cool. We've felt very blessed and been very proud of our people and our communities. It's always amazed me how much of an impact Twitch can have on charitable, on charities.
I think that's really awesome, Ashley. Actually, in my clan group, we've had a couple of people who have specifically went through training to assist people with mental illness with the idea of applying it to our community.
Oh, wow.
And we've offered people, and personally, there's been some people who've had some tough experiences. Myself and a couple of the other people who help around our community have helped them get help. And I mean, like in serious situations. I knew you raised money. I didn't realize the target was towards that. You know, I'd seen some of the charitable stream mentions when I've watched your stream and things like that. But I really think, and obviously we're here to talk about a little more lighthearted things most of the time, but mental health, like that's a huge thing in society today and in our country, that so many other problems are tied to the difficulty of getting people quality mental health. And I don't want to get into all the politics and social sides of that, but that's a big issue that I think it's really admirable that you guys focus on.
Yeah, and that one's for me personally. Like so we try to do like team campaigns. Like I said, every year we've done St. Jude. I'm not participating in the St. Jude one this year because instead of doing two big charity campaigns, I've elected to do something different where I'm like focusing on one charity for the entire 2021. I have like my incentives and milestones. If you've ever been to a charity stream, you've probably seen where like where it says like, oh, if I raise 1,000, then I'll dye my beard, or whatever. And then you can have things where like if you donate $5, you can choose one of these things, like I eat a bean boozle, or
I once, this is years ago, when the Bears faced the Colts in the Super Bowl, one of my customers was a Colts fan, and his company was doing a charity, and I paid to have his head dyed in the Bears blue with the orange C on the side of it. I'm not a Bears fan, but I did that to troll him and to raise money for charity.
Just out of spite.
Love trolling.
Yes. I one of my best Warships buddies is one of the biggest trolls that I know. Yeah, and he's gonna know who I'm talking about with me saying his name this episode. But
yeah, you honestly, if you ever want to raise money for charity, the best way is to allow people the opportunity to troll you with a charitable donation. Like, it is.
Speaking of this, I feel like now is the appropriate time to let you know that one of the number one ways that my stream makes fun of me is with one of your emotes. Can you guess which one it is?
No.
It's the chair. Like,
Oh.
if I get up and if I get up and I'm gone for more than 2 minutes, I'll come back and there will be your chairs, Ashley chair. I forget what the actual prefix
Ashley
is.
chair, yeah.
Ashley chair.
That's funny.
All throughout, and then everyone will be like, "Thank God the real hero is here," or something. Thank God.
Yeah.
I always find it hilarious, but it's your chair specifically that people have found to bring to my channel just to tease me when I get
so
up.
funny. Yeah, I literally reached out to Need for Seat and I was like, "Ugh, my people worship your chair when I get up to go to the bathroom. Can I use like your image as an emote?"
Oh, is that how you made it?
Yeah, literally, I just reached out to them. I was like, "Can I use can I use the image of your chair as an emote?" And I just cut the top of it off and added the rays and.
Right. Oh, cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't know why. I just assumed it was just a cartoon chair. I didn't ever think oh, this is actually her chair. This is a real picture of her chair.
That is literally my chair.
It's so funny.
The best trolls are the real trolls.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we wanted to talk to you about. Bogsy and I are both involved in competitive things in the game, and we know that's not something that you are into and isn't a driver of your audience, but there are lots of other aspects of the game, such as the extra events, the Polygon, their upcoming Axis and Allies. We had, things with the various Halloween and April Fool's events. Are those things that your audience finds appealing, that you enjoy playing for them, or have had any success participating in?
So I love them, and it's actually something I've always recommended before they started bringing them out. So wargaming, you need to put out other game modes. Randoms is dry if that's all you ever play, especially if you have every ship, which obviously they've done a lot of things to make it to where people have something to do when they have every ship.
There's always another Miyoko you can get.
Right?
There's always another version of the
I have
Miyoko.
17. I think I have 17.
Well, and now they have the research bureau to encourage people to reset lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I've always been a huge fan of the idea of these other game modes. I love them. I will say, so I'll have if I play them, I'll have both. I'll have people that say, "Ugh, I hate this game mode," and I'll have people that say, "Man, this game mode's so fun," and I found that as much as I love them, they're not as interesting to stream because they are the same thing repetitively. Now,
More so
the
than a random,
Halloween,
you mean? More so than a random in terms of the same thing?
yes,
Okay.
because PvP. Okay, let me take that back. When it's PvP, it's pretty interesting. When it's PvE, it's the same thing over and over again.
Plus, it's the same map and things like that. Generally, you're trying to accomplish the same thing over and over again if it's any of the PvP
which is
stuff.
what Big Hunt is, right?
Yeah.
Now and even if it's PvP, you remember the was this last year? The torpedo beats game mode that was so much fun.
I think it was, you're talking about Savage Battles, right? All the destroyers with the that are made out of garbage. They look like look like Mad Max.
There was another one that was.
I
know. I can't remember the name, but I know what she's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, there was another one that was it was a really small, kind of like an epicenter type of map, and you just had the fastest, most quickly reloading torpedoes. It was very short-lived. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, it's okay. I what I would like to see is a bunch of little mini games like that, but on rotation. If I could just enter a queue and then I got a random one, I think that would be.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
idea.
so you don't know which one of them you're gonna get, but you might get the torpedo beats one. You might get Savage Battles. You might get any of the ones that we've seen in the last year.
Yeah, and obviously then you can't because you have to choose a ship and then queue up, but. When it's just the same thing over and over again, then it's up for a month. It just seems I don't know. It just gets boring really quick.
So, I mean, for you, and again, I'm curious to know what kind of feedback you get from your audience about this sort of thing. But what kind of incentive to play those game modes do you think is generally appropriate? Savage Battles, for example, had the Venom at the end, plus a whole plethora of permanent camos that you could get for tier 10 destroyers, which like that's like 5,000 to 6,000 doubloons worth of value right there, which is not inconsiderable. And then you get some other ones, like the Halloween event had some skins, sure, for tier 10s, tier 9s, and tier 8s, I believe, but no ship. And then you have Big Hunt, which I believe has the only rewards there are some commanders, some vanilla commanders with fun voice sets, and then I think some tier 8 skins. Is that about it? What do you think is an appropriate sort of carrot to dangle in front of the donkey, so to speak? Assuming I'm the donkey.
This is interesting to me because I can't think of a single other game I play where alternate game modes have some sort of rewards you're trying to get. You just play them because they're a different fun game mode. But this community is so used to being rewarded by that's all they see the point in something as being like.
I suddenly feel terribly ashamed of myself.
No, I mean you shouldn't. I just find it really interesting, like. I think of League of Legends has like Earth mode and all randoms and stuff like that. People are just excited that they come out.
But
you don't get anything for playing them.
Part of it is like Bogsy and I have a little bit of tunnel vision because the people that we're with are playing competitive and doing the grind and very focused on that. And to us, that's the community, right? It's the people who are playing clan battles, doing COTS, like won all the tier 10s, won all all the unique upgrades, all those things. And you have built a very healthy audience, a consistent audience on doing what we all say we're going to do with video games and having fun.
Having fun.
Like, I don't mean that. I don't mean any type of disrespect or it's like you're just having a good time.
I don't remember the last time I had fun playing video games.
Wait, and I do hear that in my community too. Like, oh man, I'll tell you. You remember the sprints that were like mid tier? I don't know what they're. Well, I can't say we're called sprints. Like the tier 5 or 6 or whatever ranked is my favorite thing, freaking ever. I want that. I just want that. Like, bring it back. But yeah, everyone was like, oh, like all you get is coal, and I was like, I don't. What? So what? Like, why does it matter? Like, I just want to play. Like, just having like whatever it was, 6 or 7 players versus 6 or 7, and it's like this mid tier was so much fun to me.
I mean, the only thing, that's a really good question. It's like, why do you need something extra? The only thing I can think about is this, because you're a streamer, so you stream 6+ hours a day, 5 days a week, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and I mean, I stream three times a week, maybe 4 hours a day, but I'm always playing because on the days when I don't do that, I'm usually doing something like clan battles. And so I still spend a lot of time playing the game, and clearly you do as well, but I guess there are some folks who maybe play an hour a day, 2 hours every 2 days, something like that, and they have to really budget their time based on what aspect of the game either is going to be the most fun or the most rewarding. I should really...
Those are the people who had kids instead of puppies, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. I think they're called adults, but I'm not sure. I'd have to... I have to look that up.
I feel personally attacked. I thought we were not going to attack people, Bogsy, on this podcast.
It was a semicircle. It was a semicircle firing squad because I fully was aiming that at myself. If you guys were caught in the crossfire, I'm sorry about that. I mean, but it does occur to me as we sit here talking about this that, maybe some people also determine which game mode they want to play based on, hey, I play 5 hours a week. So if I'm playing, I want to get something that has, I guess, a higher reward or a higher goal at the end. And if you don't play clan battles and you don't really like ranked, but you're like, oh, I want a Stalingrad, you need steel. How do you get that? Well, then you have to play the game modes that are even capable of getting you steel, which would be ranked, would be clan battles. There's some other things.
Maybe that's why ranked is so toxic and frustrating.
I think that's very apt analysis of that. Yeah.
I think that's why losses matter so much to people in ranked. Because let's be honest, ranked is not it's not a ranking system. It's a grind.
Yes, I think
it's never been a ranked system.
just as much who is more stubborn as who is more skilled. Obviously, you rank out in fewer games. The very top skilled players absolutely rank out much faster and
True.
can be very efficient in it. But if you go back and look at who has ranked out, it's not a function of here's all the best players. It's a function of who is most persistent. It's a cross section of the players.
Mhm.
Like there's 47% win rate guys who rank out, in the old system, rank out in their 700 games or whatever, and that's just miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most I've ever seen was I think sometime during 2020, during one of the ranked seasons that was pre-rework, like pre-ranked rework, where we have 3 sprints now.
Right.
Where it was literally just, hey, once you get to rank 5, you can keep slipping. If you get up to rank 2, you can keep slipping all the way back to rank 11 or what have you. I remember we thought about trying to get someone on who I saw that someone had ranked out in 1,300 games.
Jeez.
In one ranked season. And my mind exploded when I saw that. I think I have almost 8,000 random battles now, and probably another 2,000 ancillary, ranked and clan battles combined. So maybe close to 10,000 now, which is a little embarrassing. But
that is, if you figured like 12 minutes
season?
a game, that's literally 6 work weeks.
Oh my god! Unless they die so quickly
8
that they
hours a
just, they die in the first 5 minutes. And but I actually considered, I thought to myself, well, maybe that, I don't know. I sort of want to interview someone and be like, so, walk me through this, please. But I don't know if that would borderline on, maybe inappropriate or not. Maybe I shouldn't even be talking about this right now. I don't know. But
yeah, I get the curiosity. I totally get that. Like, what is your driving factor there?
Yeah, how do you not go crazy? Like, that's what I really want to know, is like, how can you sit there for
They're
1,300?
already there, Bogsy. That's how.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what the difference is like, this game is so grind heavy compared to in a different free to play game like League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
You literally can just buy all the champions. You don't have to.
Right.
There's no. I mean, there is a grind where you can keep playing and getting shards or whatever to get champions, but it's not like that. It's not like World of Warships. So I can see that. Like, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it is interesting, and I think about this frequently. In the sense of like, I have. Now that I'm a community contributor, I even get warships, or World of Warships gives me a lot of the new ships that come out. They give Cole ships, they'll give doubloons ships, they'll give basically anything that's not Steel or Research Bureau or Tech Tree. They just give to me for free, and so that I can play it on stream and let people know what I think about it. Meow, meow,
With
meow.
a 19-point captain.
With a 19-point captain. Actually, they're 21 now, which...
Oh, right.
Boy, is that nice.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, I think I've definitely drifted away from being able to fully remember the mindset of, I thought to myself, before I played competitively, I thought, I want one ship. I want a Stalingrad. Like, I want a Steel ship, and how do I get that? Because... I don't know. I wasn't playing clan battles, and I wasn't good enough to really be in ranked long enough to get that much steel. So, boy, grinding out 30,000 steel or whatever, 22,000 steel, it was so difficult. So, I do sort of wonder, do you think maybe that wargaming would benefit from finding ways to help non-competitive players get more resources like steel or Research Bureau
I
points?
think they have been doing that. When you think of what was it? Was it snowflake crates?
Yes.
You could get some still in? Yeah. So I think they have done that. And actually, I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like at some point, I remember that when they started making it still more accessible, I remember some of the like hardcore competitive players were upset about it.
Well, I know the group that I'm with, like I started in season 1 and we were Typhoon 1, and that was the highest you could get. Then we were Hurricane Season 2, and a lot of us got the Stalingrad after the 3rd season of ranked or of clan battles, which at the time you had to win 30 Typhoon wins, and they told us that was the only way you were going to get it, right? You got those flags or tokens for each season when you got your 30th win, and hey, you get 3 of the Stalingrad. And then they adjusted that to be, hey, we're going to make it for steel, and you do get this cool camo, which now other people can still get. But a lot of us were frustrated. Like, I wasn't super salty. I'm not like an angry guy, but I was like, hey, you told us this is the grind we had to do, and it was going to stand out that, hey, you had to get 30 Typhoon wins to get this boat. And now, I think it was probably by the end of the 4th season, almost anybody who had played quite a bit could earn the steel and get it. So I've been on that side. Like, I get it, but their idea is how to make money, right?
So they sell those. They
and
sell
how
those,
to keep people playing.
Yeah. So you sell those steel missions and do the snowflake stuff, and it's kind of a reality.
Steel missions. I forgot about
I forgot
those.
it. That was the Prince Idol Friedrich, the Made in Steel
yeah.
or something like that, right? Or what was it?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bought the campaign. If you bought the extra stuff, you could get steel along the way.
Yeah. That was the first time they really ever made, like, here, you can effectively buy steel. You still have to play to earn it, but you can get it this way. Now, of course, they do it also with the dockyard, where if you pay to, you pay to get the directives, you literally pay to earn steel and research bureau points when you finish the directives, which... Yeah, again, I don't have any problem with that, per se. Like, hey, you want to open it up to people who don't have time maybe to play clan battles, but do have, because they're too busy earning money to buy the thing. I guess that's not a problem for me. But
and that's the nature of free-to-play games. It's always either pay to grind or grind.
Yeah.
That's just like, that's the ecosystem. And the people who, like, do only grind tend to get, well, some of them tend to get a little upset that people can pay. But it's like you said, like, people's time is worth, it has a different value based on, whether or not they have kids or dogs.
Yeah. Yes, that's called a callback.
Yeah, whether they chose wisely or not.
See, the guys, see, everybody, this is why she's great to watch on Twitch, because she's savvy, she's quick-witted like that. That's called a callback. Oh, love it.
Yeah, and the next resource is always going to eventually be hit by inflation.
Oh, of course.
It was steel, then coal, and all those things. So we kind of have to free XP.
And that's why for me, like, my goal has never been in rank to rank out. I don't care if I rank out. I just play it because I enjoy playing 7v7. I like having to worry about less teammates doing stupid stuff and less enemies being in some position I didn't realize they were in. To me, if I played ranked with the goal to get still, I think that would be a very stressful life.
Do you know how many of our lists, like, I can see Bogsy's brain breaking. So many of our listeners, like you play for fun?
What?
Like, what? That's it? Just for fun?
This is not fun, Ashley. This is a responsibility I have.
When it's just like, I mean, it's like that in any game. There are people that play FPSs and they get mad when they lose. I never get mad. I may get mad if I did something that I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Which I never get mad. I wouldn't get mad. I'm not a salty player, but yeah, I mean, in World of Warships, there's only so much control you have over any game anyways. Like,
yeah,
getting mad doesn't change. Yelling at your teammate doesn't change. Like, they're going to do the same thing next game.
In fact, it feels so good.
If you yell at me, I'm more likely to do the thing you're yelling at me about than if you hadn't yelled at me, honestly.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, before we ask you to sink a ship, because I'm always salivating at the mouth waiting to see what people are going to sink every single episode. I am curious to know, before we move off the topic of sort of, what do we call them? Do we call them the side modes, maybe? The alternative modes? Alternative modes. That's a fine way to put it. What do you have any sort of speculation, or do you have any sort of, creative thoughts on what might be a good alternative game mode, given what we've seen so far?
I think any of them could be a good alternative game mode if they were more randomized and didn't have an insane grind attached to them. For instance, the one that you brought up earlier with the Venom was the reward. That game was so much fun, but it was ruined by everyone wanting the Venom and feeling frustrated to have to grind. I mean, it wasn't an unrealistic grind like the PR was, but it was really, really big grind, which made people hate that game mode. But I think people would have loved the game mode if they didn't feel the need, just like ranked. If they didn't feel the need to get steel, I think ranked can be a lot more fun.
That's so interesting.
But losses would be less upsetting, I think.
Yeah. That's so interesting to note. Like, does it make the experience worse if there's a reward at the end, or does it make it better? Like, that is interesting.
I think it depends on how much you have to do it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of pressure, and how grindy is the grind? Well, it depends on your skill level in ranked, like you said. If you're a super Unicum player and you can rank out in 13 games, then cool. If you're like me and you get stuck in silver for 3 sprints, like that could be upsetting. Like for me, it's not, but I can see how that would be upsetting.
I have 3 words for you: Petropavlovsk. There's a reason why, because it is busted. Has an outsized effect. But, well, Borla, is there anything else you'd like to ask Ashley before we put her in charge of the fate of one poor sucker of a World of Warships ship?
No, I am interested in seeing what she thinks, but I just appreciate your time and being here. It's always fun to talk to somebody that you see performing, right? Because that's really how most of us have experienced seeing you, is on Twitch or seeing your channel. And I also think it is fun to talk to somebody who has a very different perspective. Most of the people we talk to are around the competitive, and we've kind of alluded to jokes like you're just there to have fun, and I'm sure there are days where you don't feel 100% into it, but every time I've popped in your stream, it does appear like you're having fun and your audience is having fun. And I think it's a good reminder for all of us, like, that is kind of what this is supposed to be about.
It's supposed to be fun.
like we're doing this because we don't want to worry about all of the other stresses or anxieties or whatever of life. So I appreciate you coming in, and I really appreciated the fundraiser stuff for NAMI. I think that's something that a lot of people should pay attention to for themselves and their friends and family.
Yeah. Well, let's get to it then. All right, I try to spontaneously create a scenario every single time that we set this up. Okay. Ashley, you have played every single game mode that World of Warships has, and luckily for you, there exists an incentive at the end of each one of these game modes, and you spend all your time grinding through these game modes, and at the end of Savage Battles, you are granted your first Infinity Stone. Then you play through Polygon, you beat a whole bunch of people, you slay a whole bunch of Cthulhu-esque monsters, you get your second Infinity Stone. Then you play some auto battler that I'm going to try and get Wargaming to do, you get your third, and then a whole bunch of other things happen again, you get your fourth and fifth. Then you put them all into the Ashley Gauntlet, and you yeet something out of existence by snapping your fingers, a la Thanos in Avengers Endgame. What is that poor sucker ship gonna be?
Well, my audience is going to expect me to say Danae, but if I'm being truly honest, it's that stinky little CV, the FDR.
Why does everybody hate the FDR?
That's not a bad choice. That's not a bad choice. I did see yesterday the Danae stuff going on. I was watching.
What is that? Explain. The Danae? Who hates the Danae?
Listen, it's a bad ship.
Listen, bro, it sucks, okay?
It's literally, I don't know why, but I free XP'd through it because I hated it. And people caught on to that, and they started paying to watch me play it.
Yeah.
And so now I have more games on it than any ship in the game.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
and I'm in like the top 10% of like max damage or something. Like
holy crap!
Like, I mean,
I mean,
it was lucky. I think I probably have the highest PR on that ship too. Like, it's so stupid.
you're gonna hear me do this right now. If you're listening to this podcast, you're gonna hear me typing in Ashley, aka Ashley, into the WoW stats because I want to see exactly how many games she's played in the Danae.
It's stupid. Because it doesn't have. It's like, why? And this is gonna tell you how I feel about the alt line.
You
Why
did.
Yeah, I told you. Why play?
It's your most played ship.
Royal Navy cruiser without a smoke. Like, that's the only reason I play them. So, it's gross.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, that I mean, I almost wish that you had sunk the Danae just because. I mean, I think there's only a handful of ships that in 75 episodes have been sunk once. You know, the FDR is a lightning rod for Yeetus Deletus. As well as the Stalingrad, the Hakuryu, and the Smolensk before pre-commander rework. The Smolensk got curb stomped quite a few times.
Petro.
The Petro has been obliterated a number of times, but one person sunk Khabarovsk. That was Sub-Octavian, that maniac. But that was Danae.
The meme's the Danae, but yeah.
Okay.
But FDR has lately just oof.
I mean, it's really stupid. Can I confess something to the both of you and to everyone listening?
I'm scared.
Suck at the FDR. Like,
Good.
I know that it's too good, and I know that if I just played it a bit more, I would figure out how to time things properly to farm damage easy peasy. But I hate it, and I don't want to play it, so I don't play it. So when I do play it, I suck at it.
May everyone have that problem.
Yes. Well, so Ashley, we're going to put in the description below a link to absolutely anything you'd like. If I'm assuming we'll get your Twitch. Do you have a Discord you'd like to plug as well?
Sure.
Okay.
It's just discord.gg/AshLEYakaASHLEY.
Excellent. So
Easy.
Yeah, we'll have all of that down below, whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're listening to it on Anchor, Spotify, Apple TV, whatever, meow, meow, meow. The links will be down below. You can use those to find Ashley anywhere that she happens to be. Please check her out on Twitch. Is there anything else you'd like to mention before we head out?
Have fun. Learn to have fun.
Learn to have fun again.
You can do it.
Make
Yeah,
World
learn
of
to have fun
Warships
again.
fun
I think that'd
again.
be a good life lesson for us sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you again for giving us your time. We know that you're super duper busy, but this has been great. You've been absolutely wonderful.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot for being on. Enjoy the day.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and we will catch you next time on Get to Know World of Warships.